What's up, manga fans? This is Rafael from C Manga, and welcome back to another review of Hajime no Ippo. This week's chapter 1078, Unseen Heights. So, what can I say about this chapter? It was bloody hilarious for the main part. I think we can all agree that Takamura was the highlight of this chapter, with more of his antics and his comical gags that continuously run through this manga, and it usually involves with him stripping somehow, that with these disturbing pranks. I mean, how many times is this guy gonna whip out his penis in this manga and in front of the guys? It's ridiculous, but it's all funny. It's all well and good jokes, and it's what is one of the qualities that makes this manga so funny and great. And I just wonder what Morikawa can do to top this, because it was nasty. And I always think that although Takamura does this as a kind of comedy thing to shove it in people's face, I feel like there's always an underlining and ulterior motive for him to, I feel like, to boost his confidence, because the way the gym's gone now, 4 people have lost in a row, like he says, all 4 of you lost, you're all crap. He needs to boost the gym's confidence again, and as well as himself, and this is usually the best way to do it, because it ignites rage or kind of hatred towards himself, especially from Aoki, and that will give them the boost and rage they need, that to say, I'm going to do it better next time, rather than wallow in their own self-worth and self-pity. So yeah, it was definitely needed, and as I said, this is usually probably the best way to go about it, and obviously Takamura is being an arse as well. But onto the serious part, I like how this chapter kind of explained the business and the dealings of the boxing world again, and Yagi kind of explains how difficult it was to set up this match with the WBA champion from America. And from that fact that he's American, he actually said he wanted to fight in America, but Takamura refuses to fight outside Japan, so Yagi had to end up paying out big money for this to set this up. And then furthermore, now they had to make a profit off of this for the money they spent by making sure the showing got completely sold out, and he had to put together a big card for the actual match day. So we have in the semi-main event a world flyweight title fight, and the Japanese fighter will be the challenger named Suchiya, I think. So that's one of the things, like, to try and bring in the fans and tickets. And then also, which I was happy about, was we get to see Mashaba returning to defend his title, so we'll finally get to see him fight again. And Sendo as well will be fighting in a world ranking fight, so I'm looking forward to see what them two can do, because obviously we've had 4 boxers from the Kamogawa gym lose, and as I said, Ippo's long drawn out fight was a bit daunting and overwhelming, so hopefully we can have some nice decent fights from them two. I hope they're not completely skipped over. I don't want them too long, but at the same time, I hope it's not we just see the victory or the last bit of the round where either of them win or lose, whatever it is. As I said, I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do, because I said they're 2 good boxers and 2 good characters in the series. It'll be great to see them again on the stage. So as I said, at this point, Takamura takes to the stage with his disgusting strip show and pulls down his trousers and pants, showing off his manhood towards everyone. And I think the highlight for this was when Aoki's like, I want to get in there and kick his ass, and Takamura more or less shoves his ass into his face. He's like, did I hear someone say ass? And I just thought, poor Aoki, it's like, literally, I feel like there is no depth you can sink to in terms of the pranks Takamura throws on you. I mean, you've had his poo on your head, you've had him let him fondle your balls. I mean, the other way around. Takamura's made him fondle his balls, which is disgusting. And now you've had another man's ass shoved into your face. How worse can it get? Poor Aoki. But it's all for fun and games. And as I said, I feel like it's a kind of a confidence boost and to change the whole depressing atmosphere of the Kamogawa gym. And speaking of Kamogawa, this guy is becoming more and more depressing as the chapters come on. He starts, like, what was interesting, we were talking about Japan it's been a while since the middleweight title was held by them, and when Takamura goes into super middleweight, that's going to be uncharted territory for them, when really it's actually already uncharted territory, because this is like the first time a Japanese boxer's come this far, done the feats that Takamura's done, and succeeded this well for so long. So it makes him wonder how much further can he go, and what will he run into on the way there. And he feels pessimistic, thinking it's just going to be more problems after problems. I know Yagi more or less calls him out on this. Is like, you're talking about Ippo, aren't you? And the situation with Ippo, what's done is done. It's sad. We're going to be busy. Our hands are going to be full with trying to get him back on, the boxing road. But he's trying to lighten him in situations with by saying, Takamura's situation is good. Can you imagine when he wins, the WBA and the WBC belts will be here on our table in this office? But Kamogawa just seems pessimistic, saying, things like that will never last forever. So for him to even start thinking Takamura might lose is kind of worrying about his mental state of health right now. Is he really that depressed and hungover by Ippo's loss? And I definitely think he is, because he feels somewhat responsible for that, especially after what Miguel Zell told him. So we have his inner monologues, and he's reflecting on his life, the accomplishments that he achieved with Takamura and Ippo, and he wonders where they'll go next, how far they'll go, and something which we've heard from before, they will be his last students. So it makes you think, is this guy like dying anytime soon? He seems like I'd say the way he was acting in this chapter and the way he was portraying himself, he seemed a bit too depressed, and his thoughts were very morbid, like he wasn't going to last that much longer. So I'm wondering if that's just a red herring from Morikawa, or will Kamogawa die before the manga ends or something. So the last part was interesting. We have Ippo training with Takamura, and he more or less comes out of it. You already knew about this, Takamura, didn't you? The reason why I lost. Have I really become weak? And Takamura tells it more or less how it is. Ippo, you told the coach that you accepted the loss. Gonzalez was a better man than you, and you had no excuses. And he says that Kamogawa was hurt by this, and it kind of makes sense, because when you think about it, Ippo just more or less said that I did all I could. You did all you could, Kamogawa, but I lost. So in a way, it's like he didn't have any excuse to motivate either of them. Kamogawa would chew him out for it. It's like, oh, we'll do better next time. He'll apologize, but it's like, I don't know what to do next time, or something like that. He's more or less said that the work he's done, the work I've done, which is crap, it wasn't enough, which is true in a way, because obviously they need to change up the boxing style. But at the same time, if you've had nothing to say, then how's that going to motivate you for next time? Takamura was saying, yes, the way you are now, it won't cut it, but you need some sort of motivation to get both you and Kamogawa back on the road, and get motivated again. And this is going to affect Takamura as well, because Kamogawa is his coach. If he's lost his motivation, enthusiasm, and that fire, it's going to affect him in these matches as well as trying to get Ippo back on the world stage. So you can understand where Takamura's coming from. It's like, you more or less just said, yeah, I lost, that's it. When the truth was, Ippo said to himself, I lost because I wasn't trying hard enough. I had the wrong motivation. Gonzalez wanted to win. I just wanted to see what I could do, test myself against the world. That's wrong. And this is what Ippo needs to change, that mentality. Next time I'm going to do better. Next time we're going to win. And Kamogawa needs that motivation as well. So that's all I can say. And I hope this stroppy season from both of them is going to end soon, because it is. I don't want it to drag out too long. We've had enough of that. I just want to see Takamura win his next title, or his next belt, and then Ippo can start training again and get prepared for the world stage, hopefully soon, after Takamura gets his belts. So that's more or less this chapter in a nutshell. It was a lot of comedy, a lot of dialogue and depressing moments, but we're getting there. Slowly or surely we're starting to get there, so we'll see what happens next time. But you guys know the usual. If you enjoyed this chapter, leave it in the comment box below and let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you guys in the next chapter.